around. They're doing it really well. Another first down. 6 points for Warwick. A pitch out there. Good run for the Hurricanes. Denbigh is going in the air for a bomb. Catch. The Wolverines, the 10, 5, touchdown Woodside. All right, we're live tonight at Todd Stadium in Newport News. High school football. It's a classic rivalry. Greg Bicoveris along with Nate Milton as Woodside takes on Denbigh.
Absolutely, my friend. We are back and better than ever out here in the elements. Excited for this rivalry game tonight here at Todd Stadium.
Denbigh's looking for a win.
Right, and it's an interesting matchup tonight because you got the student versus the teacher, Coach Stewart versus Coach Dotson. We're going to see if the pupil can take the old master to school.
Let's get down to the field.
This is what it's all about, folks. Excited to be able to get back on the air and bring you this exciting Friday night football here from Todd Stadium. Again, this rivalry matchup between the Denbigh Patriots and the Woodside Wolverines. Like you said, Greg, this is going to be a big test to see how far Denbigh has improved this year.
We're outside tonight as well, as you can tell, and we're underway at 7:01 Eastern Time. Denbigh in the blue, Woodside in the white. Nate, first of all, what are the keys for Woodside?
I think the keys for Woodside are to come out here and work their game plan. They know what they're doing. There's no mystery with this wing T offense that Woodside brings to the table. They just got to come out here and work their game plan and finish strong. For Denbigh, though, Greg, I think Denbigh's got to come out here and they've got to be aggressive. They've got to come out here and force some action. They got to be proactive like you always talk about, my friend, because they have to make a statement tonight. They're the underdog against a very tough Woodside team.
Both teams like the wing T. Denbigh going left to right in the blue uniforms. What a beautiful feel it is out on the stadium concourse. Greg Bicoveris along with Nate Milton.
It's a very interesting matchup, like we said, Greg. Coach Stewart taking on Danny Dotson. The friendship between those two men is interesting.
And that was Hodges.
Hodges right there on the play. And again, like we talked with Coach Stewart before the game, and he said, you know, any trick that Coach Dotson knows, he knows. But also on the other side of the coin, any trick that Coach Stewart might want to pull, Coach Dotson is ready for that as well.
Denbigh keeping on the ground. Both these teams like to run. They played 12-minute quarters in the Virginia High School League. Woodside coached by Danny Dotson, head coach since 1999. Denbigh coached by James Stewart. Let's take a look at the officials, respectively. Referee is Jim Mayhew. Umpires Clem Heffron. Head linesman Bobby Golaski. Line judge Lewis Watson. Side judge Sean Whitfield. And, of course, field judge Ivy Allen. Back judge Ben Price. Woodside beat Denbigh last year 47-0. Woodside's been a school since 1996. Danny Dotson's made 12 postseasons in his tenure.
Yeah, that is why he is the dean of coaches in Newport News. Just that consistency, building up that Woodside program and having year after year that success. He's had some wins in the postseason, Greg. The thing about Danny Dotson, though, that he's still pursuing is that big state title.
Denbigh punting. Decent punt. Woodside will take it. Went a little backwards. Good pressure by the Patriots. Woodside going to the outside. A lot of daylight. Flags are down, though. Flags are down. And that was number 1, respectively, Nate. And that was Jimison.
Jimison is a name we'll be saying a lot tonight, Greg. Mr. Do It All for the Woodside Wolverines. Plays offense, defense, and as you saw right there, special teams as well.
8 yards on the
Field
return.
in great condition.
And we do have a flag on the play.
Still waiting for word on what that penalty was.
Illegal formation
this year.
by the offense. That penalty's declined. First down.
That's our buddy Jim Mayhew. We've had him on Sports Highlights. Woodside has beaten Gloucester 14-0, beat Norview 32-14. Denbigh lost to Warwick 34-0. And they played a few other schools too as well.
And the thing right now you got to see, especially after that great special teams play, which I do want to take a look at here in a second by Woodside, I think that they've got to come out and make a statement because Denbigh, they got their backs against the walls early. It's very early, folks. The game just started, and now Denbigh is in a serious situation.
Denbigh lost to Grafton 21-18. So they lost to Warwick 34-0
Yep.
and Grafton 21-18, but they still need to close the deal.
And the thing is, you know, they're trying to rebuild the culture here. You know, B2 Harris, the great coach for so many years here, but now we've got a new regime with Coach Stewart, and they're trying to find their identity.
Outlet pass is complete for a touchdown.
Wow.
Number 1 throws to number 2. And, of course, the quarterback, Jimison right to Thompson. And we like that Tyler Thompson.
Tyler Thompson, senior player for the Woodside Wolverines, gives them such great leadership. All right, let's take a look here on the replay, folks. Right here you're going to see, bam, right there. Just a nice outlet pass, and then all of a sudden he is off to the races, folks, and it is payday. It is payday all day long. And you can see I got some new toys up here in the booth. It's like Christmas right here, folks. But right there you saw, just a simple outlet pass can lead to positive results for the Wolverines.
They're lofting it up in there. That's dangerous. They really didn't need to do that, but they did as far as the fake extra point. Flags down, though.
We've seen a lot of that so far early on here in the season, Greg. A lot of fake punts, a lot of going for two in terms of going for the 2-point conversion. A lot of tricks and bells and whistles being brought out in the first 3 weeks of the football season.
9 minutes left in the first quarter. Woodside likes the wing T, 4-4 defense. Strength is the passing and the running, of course, for Woodside. Weakness is play for 4 quarters. Denbigh also does the wing T, as the penalty was on Denbigh. They like the 4-3 defense, which we're watching now. Strength is coming together as a team, learning how to win, and the weakness is, playing consistent.
It's kind of like that Spider-Man meme where you got the two Spider-Mans pointing at each other. That's how these two teams are offensively because they both implement that wing T formation.
Still 6-0. And Woodside makes the 2-point conversion. So already 8-0. Now remember, if it gets to 35-0 in any high school football game, it's a running clock. And that's a lot of points in 3 minutes. So Denbigh needs to take a deep breath, and kind of regroup.
And right there we saw you can't have penalties that give extra chances to Woodside. We see our officiating crew doing a wonderful job here this evening.
Yeah, that's our buddy right there, Jim Mayhew. We had him on Sports Highlights. As we're already getting a text from a viewer saying we are live tonight. Thank you very much. We haven't even given out our number yet. The power of live TV.
There's a lot of scores coming in to us right now for games that have.
Yeah, you can watch us on Cox Cable 47, 517, NNPSTV.com. Greg Bickaveras, Nate Milton, our entire crew. We'll get to the crew list in the fourth quarter. Special halftime feature coming up. No band at all tonight, folks, on home or away.
I mean, if they want, we can get out there and sing a couple songs for them.
We usually mention music anyway. If you're joining us for the first time, we do the traditional candy during Halloween and Thanksgiving food and all this stuff. We have a lot of fun here. Great rivalry in Newport News. Remember, there was no Woodside. It was just Denbigh, Menchville, Ferguson, Warwick for all those years. Woodside came along, they struggled. Yeah. And Denbigh was way ahead of Woodside. Now Woodside is one of the top teams in the state every year. The thing is they want to evolve in the postseason.
Exactly. That's the next step. That's the next rung that Danny Dotson has to climb. He's done so many great things here with this Woodside program, but that is still, that is still the white whale, if you will, out there in the ocean that Danny Dotson has yet to slay.
So Aunt Kiki is watching right now on TV. Say hello to Aunt Kiki.
Shout out to Aunt Kiki, who is always watching here on Channel 47, Verizon Fios 17, and NNPSTV.com.
Nate, a proud Menchville graduate.
Menchville.
We're both born on the 11th.
Exactly. August 11th for myself, and September 11th for Greg Bicoveris here. So happy belated birthday, my friend.
Thank you. You as well. You're not that far apart, just a month.
Just a month. So we really should pick a day right in the middle and just celebrate our birthdays together.
Exactly.
Have one big party.
Denbigh's just trying to run. Denbigh's had some great coaches over the years too, folks. Matt Boone, John Quillen had the biggest win in Denbigh's history here 30 years ago, beating Hampton. Of course, Bob Schmidt, A.C. Cawthorn, some of the great coaches over Denbigh. Woodside's only had two, Bob Schmidt and, of course, Danny Dotson.
Now you see James Stewart.
James Stewart's a great Hollywood actor, wasn't he?
Jimmy Stewart. And he used to be a running back for the Carolina Panthers, too,
Yeah.
James Stewart. But this James Stewart spent so many years on the staff with Coach Dotson. Now we'll see if he can beat his former mentor.
Great pass right there, play action from the quarterback, number 8, Nate Milton for Denbigh. That was Enrique, the quarterback.
And I think they did a great job right there just with the play action, catching Woodside a little bit off guard. Those are the type of things that Denbigh's got to do. They've got to continue to build with their play calling and set the Woodside defense up in a position where Denbigh can take advantage of the mismatches.
8-0, 7 minutes left in the first quarter. You got to convert on third downs, though.
That is the key. It doesn't matter if you're moving the ball in between the 20s. If you can't get that first down, you're not going to put any points on the board, and you're not going to beat the Woodside Wolverines that way, Greg McVery.
Third down conversions. All right, for Warwick, their coach is Corey Hairston. Denbigh, brand new, James Stewart. Menchville, Rodney Taylor, another brand new. Heritage is Fabian. Woodside, Danny Dotson. Bethel, Creighton, Incarmenius. Hampton, Mike Smith. Phoebus, Jeremy Blunt. Kickertan, Alonzo Coley. In Gloucester, John Scalf.
And again,
beautiful breeze tonight.
That consistency, Greg, is I think there you see him, Danny Dotson, the dean of coaches here at Newport News. That's why Woodside has been so consistently good year to year, because they have that foundation that Coach Dotson and these assistants at Woodside have built and put together. And when you got somebody there, unlike unfortunately Menchville or some of the other schools where you've got this revolving door of head coaches, and it's hard to get that stability when you don't have somebody there.
We've been doing games in Newport News for 29 years. Dotson's been coaching for 21.
Yes.
And he was assistant well before that at Ferguson.
Exactly.
And other schools, too.
Danny Dotson ingrained in this area, part of the fabric of this community. Activities, athletics, events, that's what the Newport News school system is all about. Academics, you can throw that in there too as well, folks.
Denbigh's still in this game. They want to keep Woodside on their side of the 50. They don't want them to have a lot of penetration.
Well, this is a big test right now for the Denbigh defense. They've got to keep their offense in the game and can't give up silly plays to Woodside, and they got to avoid penalties too, Greg.
6:37 left in the first quarter. 29th year of exclusive prep sports on NNPS TV and NNPSTV.com.
Absolutely. Don't forget sports highlights, the interview show countdown to the 300th show in March of 2020, folks. And again, you can check us out on Twitter, at Greg Bick, at Sports Highlight, at HR Online Mallcom, at Nate Mosaic,
offsetting
at
penalties.
HRSM,
We had illegal motion
HOF
against the offense. We had a horse collar tackle against the defense. We'll replay the down.
Conspot, KOS_POD. Thank you for following. Thank you for watching, folks.
8-0 Woodside.
Okay.
Setting penalties, we will replay the down. First and 15 again for Woodside.
First and 15 at their 32. Woodside in the white, Denbigh in the blue. Glad you're with us. Woodside going right to left. Woodside beat Gloucester and Norview so far. Off to a great start, 2-0. Get those first couple wins, it gives you a lot of confidence as the year goes on for high school, college, and professional.
Yeah, and the thing for Woodside, we talked to Coach Dotson before the game, and of course Coach Dotson, as he is wont to be, is always looking for the most out of this team, is always looking to see if they can be as great as they can be. So even though they've had those 2 wins, Greg, he is not satisfied. He wants them to get better. He wants to clean up some of the sloppiness out there on the field. He wants this team to be as good as it can be because his eyes are focused on the postseason and how far this team can go. Because I think if they can put it all together, they could have a pretty nice run in the postseason, Greg.
Next week we'll have Denbigh and Heritage. Woodside will take on Warwick next week.
Wow.
And that was, respectively, number 15, the big fella.
Khalif Jemison, 5'10", 180 pounds. Just a great weapon in the backfield, folks. That combination of Jemison and Tyler Thompson.
Bryce Phipps, another key player for Woodside.
Another penalty for the Denbigh Patriots.
Like we've always said, it takes 2 or 3 games to get the kinks out.
You also got to factor in the fact that, Dorian shuffled up a lot of the plans for these teams.
It really did.
And messed up the routine and the regimen for a lot of these teams.
But we're lucky. Most people in the peninsula did not lose power. Of course, we got viewers all over the world. And, of course, you're out in North Carolina. All the best to you for the recovery mode.
Absolutely.
Because it affects somebody. It's like if it's important, it affects somebody. And the weather can affect everybody.
North Carolina, the Bahamas, we saw a lot of people going through it with the storm. So hopefully, folks are on their way to recovery, but you always got to keep them in your minds.
It's timing. I've been to the Bahamas twice, Puerto Rico 3 times, and you never know when bad weather is going to happen. You just can't predict it. Of course, big storylines this year, new coaches at Bethel, Denbigh, Menchel, and Heritage. Heritage has struggled this year. Mike Smith still going strong since 1971. He's playing very well, his team is so far. Which Newport News schools will evolve as the season goes on is the big question.
Yeah. And evolve means
that's still open right now.
Well, it means different things to different teams. For Menchville, evolving is getting the 3 wins. For Woodside, evolving means going deep into the playoffs, possibly get into that state title range. So every team has their own, kind of sets of goals and dreams and what they want to accomplish this season, Greg.
And
Jefferson once again to number 15, Bryce Phipps.
Phipps and Jemison. I've been liking what Woodside's been doing on offense so far with Jemison, Phipps, and Tyler Thompson. That is a terrible trio, if you will, a trifecta for the opposing defense.
Denbigh, of course, Marcellus Harris was the coach last year, Newport News City Councilman. Screen pass is complete to number 7. That's Ricky Key, and he was the key receiver there.
I'm telling you, Ricky Key unlocked the defense right there, my friend. And if you're Woodside, you have to take advantage of things like this. So far, we've seen them work some screen plays, some underneath passes, and that interior defense for Denbigh not holding up right now.
And Woodside is controlling the time of possession as well.
Again, so many penalties, something you cannot afford when you're already the underdog going in against a team with so much history and so much of prestige behind them like the Woodside Wolverines. You can't come in here and give them more field position in terms of you commit these penalties. That's something you got to eliminate if you want to keep pace with them.
You don't give Woodside any more leverage than they've got. They'll take advantage of every little weakness on offense, defense, and special teams. Of course, it starts with an attitude, desire, consistency, staying in shape, being proactive, keep an eye on the football, stay focused, be hydrated even though it's cooler, be prepared, play for 48 minutes.
I mean, absolutely. And you got to think about it, Greg. It's all about that tradition out here. You got to get in right condition. You got to weight lift. You got to be positive. You got to be a teammate. You got to have a good attitude out there. You got to listen and to think about the future and staying in motion. And we saw on the professional level, the Washington Redskins are having difficulties this season because they can't keep guys on the field.
And the Heritage situation is similar to what the Colts are going through. Luck announced his retirement right before the season.
Yep.
Massenberg moved on, but regardless, kids process differently. And when you lose that figure like Massenberg, it's tough to recover.
Right.
It might take a year to recover.
And we won't know the true effects, the ramifications of the coaching change until maybe next season, because you have to get time for those kids to get adapted, for them to adjust, to build the culture, rebuild the culture around the program.
His father was a volunteer for a while, too. Flags all over the place. Running back was number 15, Phipps.
to number 15, Bryce Phipps.
Again,
Phipps
so
is going to
many
be tripped
penalties.
up on the play by the Patriots, number
used to
77,
call it laundry
Wayne
in the
Thomas.
field.
And we do have a flag on the play.
.340 left in the first quarter.
Illegal helmet contact against the defense. Half the distance to the goal will result in a first down.
And that is just a killer right there, Greg. You can't have a penalty like that that is just giving yardage to the Woodside Wolverines.
Great audio by the guys in the truck there, gals as well.
Bringing you all the sights and sounds, folks. We are live here on a wonderful, this is beautiful football weather too, by the way, folks.
All right, we're in the red zone. We call it the ketchup zone here. Nate and I love ketchup, even on hot dogs too, right, Nate?
Hey, ketchup
Why not?
is great.
I never understood that. Why can't you put ketchup on hot dogs?
I think it's a Midwest thing. I think folks in Chicago don't cotton too kindly to that.
I'll put mustard on it, whatever. But I like ketchup too. All right, 3 minutes and some change left. Dotson trying to eat the clock up and score some more points. Woodside trying to go 3-0. Danny Dotson's record was 130-87 prior to this year. He's 2-0 this year. 12 postseasons. Now, he had some lean years.
Yeah.
But he's been consistent. Now he wants to evolve in the second and third round.
Well, we've seen it over the years, just a gradual progression for the Woodside Wolverines.
Not quite pay dirt. Denbigh averaging 9 points a game on offense, giving up 27 on defense. Woodside pretty even, 23 on offense, giving up 7 on defense.
And that is just incredible. When you talk about how advanced some of these offenses have gotten in high school now, to be able to hold, teams to 7 points a game. Granted, it's still early, Greg, but if they can hold teams, let's say under 14 points a game, that's going to bode well for their chances as the season progresses, because you're going to have a tough time stopping this Woodside offense.
Yeah, they're just chewing the clock up. Not the biggest, not the strongest, but consistent. You take a look at Khalif Jemison. And they bulldoze in the end zone. Touchdown.
Second effort on the play will let the Wolverines a score.
Makes it
just another great drive by the Woodside Wolverines, capped off with that Jemison touchdown, Greg.
That 2-point conversion makes a difference now. If they go for 2 again, they'll be up 16-0. It's 14-0 Woodside. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, glad you're with us. We'll get you involved probably here in the second half with the Tex Club.
And that was just a slow, methodical drive down the field. They matriculated the ball down the field, as they used to say, and it just wears down your defense. And the penalties didn't help either for the Denbigh Patriots.
Woodside in the white. Jemison in trouble, throws it. Up. And it's batted down like a volleyball. Usually when you throw it up, some things don't happen too good.
That's the old Antonio Gates play, though, the long-time tight end for the Chargers. You just throw it in the corner of the end zone and go for a jump ball type situation. Didn't connect right there, but the Woodside Wolverines still have the lead here.
And that gets on Danny Dotson's nerves, even though they're up 14-0.
Yeah, execution is key for Danny Dotson. It's like Brett the Hitman Hart used to be called the excellence of execution, where Danny Dotson wants these play calls executed excellently, folks.
Virginia going for their third win. They take on Florida State. Furman takes on Virginia Tech. Of course, the Eagles beat the Redskins. Now, of course, the Cowboys come into town.
Dallas week, always a big thing in this area, so I know a lot of folks that are watching this game tonight will be parked in front of their TVs. They see the score 14-0, Woodside on top, but they'll be parked in front of their TVs again to watch that Redskins-Cowboys matchup.
We got the coaching tenure as well coming up here in our graphics. 1:44 left in quarter number 1. It's all Woodside so far. Again, last year, Woodside beat Denbigh 47-0. I've seen a renewed energy by Denbigh, though, this year. Brian Weaver, the athletic director for Woodside, is Paul Macklin, whose brother David, of course, played for Penn State.
Yep.
And, of course, the Colts.
Absolutely. For Colts, the Cardinals.
Hey, and they were giving Luck a hard time, and he played in the NFL for over a half a dozen years. That's more than most running backs play, and it's his life. He can do what he wants.
Exactly. And the thing with Andrew Luck is, he's taking so many hits and so much abuse out there on the field, and it comes to a point where your body just can't do it anymore. And so if this guy wants to not, play around and wants to retire and spend more time with his family, who are we to fault him for that?
Yeah, like LeBron when he wanted to go to Miami. Who cares? It's his life. He did great at Miami, did great with the Lakers, did great with Cleveland. All right, 14-0. We'll see what Denbigh can do here in the blue. They're the host team. Again, no band tonight, folks. Enjoy the special segment that we did with kickball. And I'll say this about the kickball segment. I've been in radio, TV, local, regional, national level. This is the best footage I've ever seen to match audio in my life, what Ray did with the kickball segment. You have to watch this at halftime. Watch how the audio matches the video. For you young producers and directors, you can learn from this. Just even though you might be wanting to get into TV, work on your YouTube video, whatever, watch how the audio matches the video. Networks can't do that.
There's an art to video production, and certainly that is something that Mr. Price and the crew here, he's trying to instill with these young men and women. So, again, you can't ask for a better teacher than Ray Price.
Kickball is a great sport, too. All right, Denbigh trying to do whatever they can.
Wow.
And they're throwing it up for grabs, and it's a nice completion. Helter-skelter for sure, but it's complete.
I don't know what I just watched, Greg. Was that Houdini or David Blaine or Chris Angel? That escape right there by the Denbigh Patriots to be able to complete that pass.
Hodges, your buddy.
All right, let's take a look here, folks, on this instant replay, because this is amazing. Right here, you're going to see just the defense coming. You think Hodges is done right here. But, oh, no, folks, Hodges is not done. Hodges is going to go over the top. Jailbreak screen almost, and right there you see just a great job by the Denbigh Patriots to pick up.
And he has the wherewithal to see the yard marker, too.
And that's the thing, when you get in those tense situations, can you keep your wits about you when everything else is falling down? And that's what Hodges did on that play.
All right, timeout, Denbigh to reset. They're down 14-0, but that was a momentum changer there, too.
That's definitely
that was a broken play.
That's the kind of play, Greg, that can get them some confidence. And that's something they need when they're going up against this Woodside Wolverine squad.
Don't forget, save the date for the Newport News Greek Festival Fall Edition, an indoor event, October 17th through the 19th.
And you see Coach Stewart trying to coach him up. He's not thinking about baklava right now, Greg. He's thinking about scoring some points.
I've been called Greg Baklaveris before.
That's not a – you should open a restaurant, Greg, called Greg Baklaveris.
Yeah, right.
Just nothing but baklava.
I like real food. Desserts are second. There's Danny Dotson, always wearing his khaki shorts.
Tradition.
It's like he really gets – you like when you see coaches feel like they're the 12th man. They say the fans are. You love when a coach, wills the team to win. Kaz used to do that better than anybody at Bethel, and you're seeing – Creighton Intermediate paying tribute to his former coach who coached at Bethel from 74 to 98, wearing the same uniforms. That consistency. You can't change uniforms of a school because that's been there well before you got there.
Well, it's the little things, these traditions. Like I remember Tommy Riemann for so many years wearing the jacket on the sidelines. It's kind of the little thing. Danny Dodson rocking the khaki shorts and just kind of the little traditions that each of these teams have.
Denbigh trying to get some tradition. And they're getting a sack. Number 11. That was Tyrese White.
Tyrese White just taking down Enrique in the backfield right there. Great pressure by the Woodside Wolverine defense. They were able to get in there, get past that offensive line, and there was nowhere for Enrique to go. As good as he looked on the previous play, there was no room for that young man to maneuver on that play.
You don't want to go minus, that's for sure.
Especially, like I said, after having that play to give you some momentum to come out and for that to happen, that's not what you want to do.
Debbie's had some great players like Antoine Buffet, probably the best player in their history.
He's
Of course,
still playing.
Still, Mike Tomlin, of course, the coach of the Steelers. Nice pass, complete outlet pass. We'll see if that'll wrap up the first quarter. We got a few more seconds, up to 6. Woodside trying to milk. They're milking the clock.
All right, take a look right here, folks. Jemison just over the top right there. Jemison and Thompson have been so in sync tonight, folks.
Like mustard and ketchup.
Like mustard and ketchup, like peanut butter and jelly, like beans and cornbread. Jemison and Thompson tonight. And the thing is, I think that helps him out, is Thompson used to be a quarterback. So I think he might know the routes better than some of the other receivers.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score. It is Woodside 14 as we broadcast live outside in the scenery of Todd Stadium. Stay tuned.
Aviation Academy offers a variety of hands-on experiences. Chooses select students to create a great small community. Is located at an airport for applied learning. And is career-oriented for students who are going to pursue aviation in their future. For more information, please contact the Aviation Academy at 757-886-2745.
We are back, folks. 14-0. Advantage Woodside Wolverines over the Denbigh Patriots. And it was all Woodside in that first quarter. Denbigh had some spots here and there, Greg, where I thought there were signs of life, where I thought there were signs of hope. But Woodside shut them down, and they have the advantages right now.
And Woodside trying to score again. The throw is complete. And it's good.
Wow.
Khalif Jefferson's pass complete in the end zone to number 7, Ricky Key.
And Key has the key.
Again, Khalif Jemison looking very efficient tonight with the pass to
With a
Key.
touchdown.
Another score for life comes at you fast, Greg, and so do these points tonight from the Woodside Wolverines.
And we have to tell the viewers, like we said in the first quarter, if you're up 35-0, folks, and you're wondering why this game is going by so quick, that is a running clock. That is a rule. And right now it's 20-0 already, just starting 5 seconds into the second quarter.
And I've been very impressed with the game so far by Khalif Jemison.
Woodside trying to go for 2. In trouble. They won't go nowhere. So the best thing Denby's done tonight is stopping the 2-point conversion.
I'll say, had Jemison out there tap dancing like the late, great Gregory Hines. And
Sammy Davis Jr.
wasn't able to find the lane. Mr. Bojangles.
Scoring drive for the Woodside Wolverines, 29 yards in 2 plays, and it took the Wolverines.
But I think if you're Denbigh, Greg, you got to slow this game down because you cannot run at this pace.
And we love Ray Charles, too.
Look, I'm telling you, Ray Charles would be singing the blues about some of Denby's offense tonight. But I think if you're the Patriots right now, what you got to do, you really want to slow down the tempo.
Yeah, it's getting away pretty fast here. 20 points is a lot in 12 minutes and 5 seconds for any team to overcome.
Especially when you're a new team, when you're breaking in this new wing T system that a lot of these Denbigh players haven't been used to yet. So, you've got to slow things down, bring the game closer to your tempo, your speed, and see if you can grind your way back into this game.
We're outside, broadcast, great ambiance. Weather's held up so far. Second quarter here at Todd Stadium in Newport News. Thanks for watching on Cox Cable 47517. NNPSTV.com. Don't forget, third quarter will get you involved for the Text Club in the third quarter. So stay tuned for that. Just tell us your name and what who you're rooting for. Just put down Denbigh or
exactly
Woodside. We'll keep it simple. Like for example, James Denbigh, Susie Woodside.
Let's say Susie Woodside. Got to represent your squad out here, folks.
Nate and I are always neutral.
We rep for all the schools.
We do. We want them all to win. If they could all tie, that'd be great.
Nobody
likes to tie. I mean, you saw that the other day with the Cardinals.
No.
That was horrible Just start off the season with a tie.
I think Kyler Murray said, though, it's better than a loss, which
It
is where
is.
it looked
It
like
is.
they were headed. But they had a great fourth quarter.
11:46 left in this second quarter. Flag is blowing off very well in the wind. Congratulations to all the juniors and seniors in the television program for starting off the school year. Week 2 under the belts. Flags all over the place.
So many whistles already tonight, Greg.
So early on we've seen, of course, Menchville got a win. We've seen Hampton getting some steady wins. Bethel's got a few.
5-yard penalty against the Denbigh Patriots. Delay of game is the infraction. 1st and 15 for the Patriots.
Wow.
Don't forget we got coaching tenure coming up here in this quarter.
Ooh.
Nice view right there by cameras. All right, coaching tenure. This is a lot of newbies here. Woodside, Danny Dotson, only one of the 20th century. Corey Harrison, 2014, and this is all new after that.
All new. James Stewart is new. Rodney Taylor is new at Menchville. And, of course, Fabian Davis at Heritage. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see which one of these new coaches can instill their game plan, their culture in their schools first.
See the cheerleaders and the mascot. Now, Fabian Davis for Heritage played for Wake Forest. He played at elite ACC team, but he's finding it's not easy to replace a very good coach in Massenburg.
It is not easy at all, and especially when you talk about, again, just the quickness and the kids having to adjust, and it looks like Woodside is doing it again, Greg. Speaking of adjusting, the defense made some adjustments, and now it looks like they've come up with the ball.
And what happens then is Denby's defense gets tired.
Well, here's the thing. Denbigh is not able to find traction on offense or special teams. Let's take a look here in the replay. You're going to see just the great push right there by the front four for the Woodside Wolverines. Ball comes loose, folks, and then there's a scramble. Whenever you got a loose ball on the ground, it's going to be a scramble. It's going to be a pile. And Woodside, again, the more experienced team, the more veteran team of the two, was able to come out with the ball. And this is not good news if you're a Denbigh Patriots fan out there tonight.
It's 20-0 right now, 10:47 left here in quarter number 2. And already Woodside in the white at Denbigh 17 in the red zone. There's a throw by Jimison. Oh, batted down by Denbigh. Nice volleyball type play.
Yeah, that was just a little rainbow pass going up top for the Woodside Wolverines, and Denbigh at the last second were able to turn around and knock the ball down. But again, we're seeing right now Woodside looks extremely comfortable on offense, whereas Denbigh, they seem like they've been back on their heels all night.
And Woodside's trying out plays for the future, too. They know they've got a 20-point cutting, yet the game is not secure yet, but you can see they're experimenting.
Yeah, that last pass wasn't a Denbigh pass. That was a Phoebus pass. They're putting that in the scrapbook for later.
How do you like being out here?
I'm telling you, it's great being out here amongst the people, in the crowd, getting the environment here. And, yeah, it's a brand new day here for us, too.
Incomplete.
Jefferson's pass intended for number 7, Ricky Key, is incomplete. Covering on the play for the Patriots, number 11.
I'm telling you, look, these. It's funny, Greg. You never know who you're gonna see at these sporting events out here. But I heard a little birdie told me, Greg Bickaveris, that you had an encounter with a member of a very prominent family.
It was weird. We were working, didn't pay any attention to anybody. Turn around, somebody said they wanted to talk to the TV people. And last night in Baltimore at the Orioles game, and it was Barry Williams with his entourage, a.k.a. Greg Brady. And good stop by Denbigh.
So Greg Brady meets Greg Bickaveris.
Yeah. Somebody on Facebook said I'm the real Greg, though, because his name is Barry. But he was great entertainment. His house is still up on Home and Garden, right?
Okay.
But HGTV, of course, he's on Meat TV, a lot of those classic shows, you know, like Hogan's Heroes, Gomer Pyle, stuff that we grew up watching. And, of course, it was an honor to meet him, and nobody really paid attention to him the first few minutes because he's got all white hair. Nobody recognized him, but then you look real close, and there he is. What was he doing at the Orioles game? I have no idea.
There's a story for another day.
Yes. Anyway, the Dodgers, congratulations to them for making the postseason. I know you're a big baseball fan.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Dodgers, Yankees, Braves, some of these teams in the mix.
Don't forget the Tex Club in the third quarter.
So the Denbigh Patriots hold. They're going to take over first.
Denbigh does a good job protecting their house on their side of the field.
Yeah, and right there.
They needed that, Nate.
Well, like you said, Greg, this is also a bit of Woodside realizing that they kind of got things going their way right now, so why not be a little more aggressive, a little more risky than you would normally be? And they went for it, and Woodside didn't hit and wasn't able to connect and score right there. So Denbigh will get the ball on downs. But again, you've got this feeling, Greg, that Woodside doesn't feel at any moment like they're in danger right now. Denby's got to change that and make them feel uncomfortable.
They're playing with house money. I mean, they're up 20-0. They're comfortable. Denby's got to get on the board. Now, Denbigh showed they could score against Grafton last week. They lost, but they got some points.
They put 18 up on them.
Yeah, they lost 21-18. I like when you see Peninsula schools playing York County schools. That's really cool. Of course, Bob Schmidt coached them York and Denbigh and Woodside.
So much history here with these teams over the years in this area.
Glad to see some kids walking around the fence here at the football stadium. We used to do that when I was at Ferguson, and you were at Menchville.
Absolutely, my friend. Bringing back memories.
Good exercise, too.
Well, speaking of exercise, Enrique's going to need to run. Run for his life right there.
Not Enrique Iglesias.
He could use a hero right now. But, yeah, you're just seeing right now the defensive pressure for Woodside is a little bit too much for that offensive line of the Patriots. They're not able to hold their blocks long enough, and that is forcing Enrique to get out of the pocket. And as you see, the Woodside defenders, they are very good at outside pursuit.
20-0 is the score. Very windy, folks. That's not a thunderstorm you're hearing in the background. That's just the wind on our mics. It's beautiful out here as far as the breeze, kind of like a balmy Miami-type breeze. Remember, we're still in hurricane season, although we haven't seen one this week at least.
So don't worry, Greg. If the wind blows you away, I'll hold it down.
Now, you got to watch an incomplete pass there that, you don't want to get a turnover here again, in the possibility of a red zone turnover. That's not good.
Well, it's kind of a catch-22 because you want to slow things down and run the ball, but you're also down by 20 points, so you kind of feel like you got to throw the ball and open up the offense a little bit more. So it's a very tough situation right now for Coach Stewart and the Patriots.
Urgency for sure. Of course, we've done a lot of Southside schools over the years, like Oscar Smith and Maury, Lansdowne, and Oscar Smith always has a solid team.
Absolutely, and you bring up Lansdowne. I know the Wolverine fans out there probably don't want to hear that name, but they've got a bit of a rivalry with Lansdowne when it comes to the postseason.
But they've changed divisions. A lot of these schools. Here's Woodside on the outside. And that's number 2, respectively, Tyler Thompson. And a lot of times these there's some urgency involved now for Denbigh. There is some urgency.
Yeah, it's still early in the first half, so to speak. But, like Yogi Berra said, it gets late early around here, especially when you're playing a team like the Woodside Wolverines who can chew up 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes at a time on a drive and leave you with very little time left to get anything going offensively. So this is a very crucial set of downs right here for the Denbigh Patriots. They got to get Woodside off of the field somehow.
Didn't Cher sing that song, Turn Back Time or something?
If Coach Stewart could turn back time.
Can't do that tonight.
If he could find a way, Greg Vicaveras.
8 minutes left. Trying to entertain our great viewers out there.
Absolutely. Again, want to give a shout-out while we got some time here, Greg, to our men and women watching AC Coach Stewart trying to get the Patriots fired up. But I want to give a shout-out to some other Patriots, our men and women in uniform all around the globe, checking us out on NNPSTV.com. Thank you for your service, because what you do allows us to do the things that we do, and one of those is bringing you this exciting high school football action.
We all echo that sentiment, as we just had Labor Day as well.
Yep. It's Labor Day and the remembrance of 9/11 and some of the first responders and people helping in that crisis and that tragedy.
Two fouls against the
But
receiving.
like you're seeing tonight,
There was a PSA
people always ask what are some of the
for
things to
holding.
do in the area.
And there was also, during the return, a block in the back The block in the back will be declined, and we will enforce the penalty from the end of the kick. Okay.
James talking to himself a little bit right there.
Laying down the law.
He wants to make sure he heard himself.
Absolutely. A lot of penalties so far in this game.
Yeah, it's early. It's game 3 for both.
Yep. And again, you talk about having the schedules kind of interrupted by Dorian, might be kind of getting back into the groove of things.
Penalty is going to move the ball back to the Wolverine 45-yard line. First and 10 for Woodside.
All right, first and 10. Woodside at their 45, going left to right on the TV dial. They're mixing it up tonight, running and passing. I love the combination, like you said, of Phipps and Thompson tonight.
Yeah. Thompson, what he brings to the table, Phipps, and then you got Jemison kind of working everything out, being the orchestrator, being the grand designer, the playmaker for this Woodside Wolverines, folks. And I don't know, folks. I got some inside information. Khalif Jemison, last week he took a DNA test, and it turns out he is 100% that quarterback who's going to be out here making moves for the Woodside Wolverines. We'll see if Denbigh's defense can change that, or will it be more of the same here on this drive?
And Woodside has it. Well said, Nathaniel.
Good pursuit by the Patriots.
And up goes to number 2, Tyler Thompson. Thompson's going to pick up a little more.
We said Woodside's only had 2 coaches in their tenure since '96. That's amazing. The word amazing is used way, way too much, but that is amazing. 2 coaches since 1996. That shows stability. But, of course, it was 19 years ago that Heritage won the state championship. Been 19 years. None of these players were born during Danny Dotson's first year at Woodside.
Nope.
Back when he was first year, of course, it was Bill D. and Phoebus, flags all over the place. Mike Smith at Hampton. A lot of different coaches compared from year 1 to year 21. Mike Smith still remains the same, of course.
Mike Smith still is there.
And he's winning still. Did not make the postseason last year, though.
Death, taxes, and Mike Smith on the sideline for the Crabbers. Those are certainties in life.
That's it.
We have aiding the runner by the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty from the spot of the infraction. It will not result.
And again, folks, don't forget Sports Highlights, the interview show. It is the countdown to the 300th episode in March of 2020, folks. So we are getting close to the milestone for you yourself.
6 months away.
So many great interviews over the years.
And we bring them to you what the people want to see. The common folk, too. I mean, like kickball, swimming pool events, archery over the years.
Yep.
Every sport, golf, football, basketball, baseball, tennis, swimming, you name it, we've done it. Outlet pass is complete. You see the outlet passes are working perfectly. Who else? Woodside just has so many weapons, whether it's Key or Thompson.
Yep, Key, Thompson, Phipps. They got so many interchangeable parts, and all of them know this offense. Again, the wing T, they're not going to surprise you with anything here. Danny Dotson has been running this same exact offense since day one, but he's found players over the years that can adapt and do different things and add a wrinkle to the wing T, and that's what Jemison and these guys are doing tonight. They're putting their spin, putting their remix on the old Danny Dotson classic.
And there's Thompson on the outside. Now, Stewart was with Dotson for over a dozen years.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of great respect between the two men, friendship between the two men. But when it comes down to what goes on here on the field, it's all business. I know that Coach Stewart wants to beat Coach Dotson just as much as Coach Dotson wants to get to 3-0 with a win over the Denbigh Patriots. So it's all fun and games. It's all friendship outside of the game. But for these two halves of this football game, there's no love lost in this rivalry.
4:42 left in intermission. 20-0. Great job by the staff and students tonight. First live game of the year. First live game ever for us was Ferguson-Hampton in 1995. When I was doing high school games when I was in college, they were taped back then. They weren't live. We started doing live games here. Of course, our friends in Hampton did them as well for 1 year in 94. We did it forever after that. But we're the king of live, that's for sure. That's a credit to the staff and students, who you'll hear about in the fourth quarter. Outside. When in doubt, go outside. Ooh, high hurdling. Might be the play of the game. Khalif Jimison doing a high hurdle.
They do hold a lot of track meets here at Times Stadium, Greg. So let's take a look, folks. You're going to see right here.
That's our play of the game so far.
It's the simple read option play right there. Jimison keeps it.
Skedaddles a little bit.
Defense is coming. And now right here, you're going to see the Jesse Owens, Carl Lewis, Flojo, Lolo Jones with the hurdle right there. Great job by the young man to pick up some positive yardage. And again, when things are starting to go right for a team, it's contagious. Everything seems to go right. Every break seems to go their way. Every loose ball, every fumble seems to go their way.
Third down conversion, everything.
Third down conversions.
First and goal right now. And Phipps gets close. Kind of reminds me of Larry Zonka that played for the Dolphins.
I'm telling you, Zonk was a hard man to bring down.
You don't see many fullbacks in the NFL anymore, and you should bring a fullback back.
Well, that's the thing. Fullback used to be a very crucial part of the offense, both in blocking, but also, receiving out of the backfield, running out of the backfield. But they don't do it that much anymore.
$20-0. Woodside trying to add on added value here. Woodside's got a great contingency of fans on their side. Of course, these kids grew up playing against each other in Little League and Pee Wee football. No pay dirt there. Denbigh still fighting. They need to try to get a turnover here if they can. Sneak the ball out of their hands or something.
Well, it's the thing that Coach Stewart talked to us about before the game, Greg. They're still trying to learn how to win. And winning, like anything else, is just practice. And once you got a culture of doing things a certain way, it's easy to do that on game day. And right now, Denbigh's just having to learn how to win all over again with the new coaching regime.
Denbigh's had some great players like Max Yates, Antoine Buffet, Rashawn Rock over the years. We mentioned Mike Tomlin. Of course, he had a rough start last week.
Yeah.
That's like Calgon, take me away. And here come the Wolverines, wide open, touchdown. Number 2, Tyler Thompson, T-squared.
T-squared. Do the math right there, folks. The points just keep adding up for the Woodside Wolverines. Let's check it out, folks. Just simple right there. Inside handoff from Jemison to Thompson. And it's almost like a valet. I was watching Beauty and the Beast the other night, Greg, and the candle came out and said, be our guest, be our guest. They rolled out the red carpet, and that's what they did right there for Tyler Thompson. Another score for the Woodside Wolverines.
I mean, this is tackle football. That wasn't even touch football.
I'm telling you. This is a situation right now where if you're the Denbigh Patriots, Greg, you got to do one thing. You don't have to eat a whole pie in one sitting.
They're going for 2. Thompson again. This time he gets in.
Whew.
Jemerson hands off to number 2, Tyler Thompson.
Man.
And it's 28-0. 7 points away from a running clock. Be prepared, audience, for that. Might not happen this half. But it's 28-0. Last year, of course, and Denbigh's still fighting. They're playing with a lot of effort. It's just that Woodside is just too tough tonight.
Well, we knew they were going to be overmatched tonight, Greg. We knew they were the underdog coming in, but I don't think we knew Woodside was going to be this efficient and this effective with their offense right now.
Because they struggled against Gloucester.
Yeah.
I mean, they beat them 14-0, but they still struggled. And Norview was pesky last week. As you see, Danny Dotson still not totally happy.
Danny Dotson is nothing if not a perfectionist he strives for excellence. He strives for greatness, and he wants greatness from this team.
A pattern of consistency.
Yep.
You get into pattern routine. Remember Wade Boggs? Remember, he used to like to eat chicken all the time. You get in that routine, and you get kind of these habits.
It was like Kobe Bryant would never leave the gym before taking 100 free throws.
Yeah.
And it's, the little things, the repetition that gets you into the consistency. And when you have consistency, you can create greatness. And that's what Coach Dodson has built over the years here at Woodside.
Denbigh on the special teams. And this might be Denbigh's best play of the game. They're still on their feet across the 30. Denbigh needs something, maybe a little spark before intermission.
Well, that's what I was saying, Greg. Denbigh just needs to get one thing right now. Like you can't eat a whole pizza in one setting. I mean, some of us can, but I can't. I got to break it up. Have a slice here, a slice there. Denbigh just needs a slice of something. Like, can you get a sustained drive that leads to a score or leads to a field goal at least? Can you get through a drive without committing penalties? They need to set a small goal right here with 2 minutes left in a half and work on that and then go from there, because you're not going to get back 28 points in one play.
You need little confidence boosters. A first down, first of all.
Yep.
Use the line as your best friend. They got a pretty decent line. But Woodside has stymied Denbigh so far. These kids that we mentioned, they grew up with each other. They know each other, relatives, family, friends. They're not that far apart. Although Denbigh and Mitchell are a lot closer than Denbigh and Woodside are. That's the more natural rivalry. Still the best Newport News rivalry there is.
Let's say still a little bit older. The hatred between the two teams goes back. It's a competitive, friendly rivalry.
All right, Denbigh keeping you on the ground. Not much there. Good defense by Woodside. Let's go to Calissa Rogers.
Enrico Carrasquillo.
Denbigh High School varsity and JV coach. How are y'all ladies doing today?
Good. I'm good.
I got a couple questions to ask you. First question, how long have y'all guys been coaching at Denbigh?
This will be my 4th year coaching at Denbigh High School. And this will be my 2nd year coaching at Denbigh High School.
Next question, have y'all ever cheerleaded in the past or like college-wise?
Yes, I started off cheering at a young age when I was 6 at Aberdeen Raiders. Then I also cheered at Bethel High School. And then I cheered at Norfolk State University, where I was the captain in 2015.
Yes, and I started cheering, I don't even know how long ago, probably when I was like 5 or 6. I cheered for Elite Cheer Sensation, which is an all-star team, and then I cheered at Woodside High School during my high school career, and I also cheered all 4 years at Hampton University.
Last question, do you have any exciting new things for Denbigh cheerleaders this year?
Yes, we just introduced a tumbling club for our girls that's going to enhance their tumbling and stunting abilities.
And we also do a variety of community service events around the area.
Thank you so much. I hope you have a good night. I am your host, Calissa Rogers, signing off.
All right. We're not quite signing off yet, folks. We still got 2 more quarters, but good job by Calissa. And, of course, the
Denbigh's
cheerleaders.
offense signed off right now.
No, we're not signing off yet. But we got 2 more quarters and a halftime as well.
And for Denbigh, again, we're joking, kidding about the offense signing off, but they've got to just remain positive, because they knew they were going to be the underdogs coming in tonight, Greg. I don't know if they knew they were going to be down this big, this early, but I think you got to get some small victories, get some points on the board, make a stop defensively, and that's what Coach Stewart has to be talking to these young men about when they go to the halftime.
Woodside's jerseys and uniforms are not ripped like ripped jeans are. This is a legit team, folks. Nothing ripped by their attire.
Absolutely not. The only thing that's getting ripped tonight is the Denbigh defense up the middle by the Woodside Wolverines in this offensive attack, this offensive onslaught that they've been putting on tonight.
1:29 left. 1:29 left till halftime. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, glad you're with us. Denbigh punting. And Denbigh has been in reverse pretty much all night. But they're making an effort, folks. Again, the score, though, is what it is. It's 28-zip with 80 seconds left till halftime. Redskins, will they make the playoffs finally? Tom Brady is ageless. He's older than you are, Nate. Ravens without Flacco have done pretty well so far.
Yep. And I think Lamar Jackson was the surprise of week 1 with the way he went out there. And everybody knows Lamar Jackson is a great athlete, extremely fast. Reminds me a little bit of Michael Vick, a local legend.
Not the arm that Vick had, though.
But Lamar Jackson was actually an effective passer in week 1. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And so if he can continue that and keep that up week to week, Baltimore could be a team to watch out for.
Especially with Pittsburgh down. Here's Phipps.
Uh-oh, speaking of watch out.
Phipps is trying to get the running clock going on now. Holy cow.
Wow.
The big fella, Bryce Phipps, a sophomore. As Ezekiel, it says, feed me. He's going to do the same thing.
Big Bryce Phipps, 5'7", 190 pounds. He was eating on that plate, Greg Bickaveris. Looked like he was running after that elusive chicken sandwich from the summer that everybody was talking about but nobody could find.
You can find a lot of good chicken sandwiches, that's for sure. Woodside just keeping the gas from that pedal. I tell you, unbelievable. It's like playing hide and seek and finding the baseball in the woods. They keep finding that baseball in the woods.
And the thing is, Coach Stewart, of all people, knows exactly how effective Woodside can be. Having spent so many years with that team and with Coach Dotson, he knows what's in store for these young men on the Denbigh Patriots side.
Great view right there. Great view right there as well.
It's what it's all about is Denbigh's got to make a stop right here. Denbigh has to be stout. Denbigh has to get some things going for them. That's all they need is to get one thing going or two things going because let's be real, Greg. Let's keep it 100, as the kids say. The comeback is unlikely at this point. So if you're Denbigh, what you got to do is just come out here, play hard, try to make something happen, and then see what happens.
Play with pride.
Play with pride.
Play with some school spirit.
Exactly.
You got a coach that wants to win here. It's been tough for Denbigh the last few years. Probably their most recognizable coach was Matt Boone and John Quillen. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Matt Boone beat Bethel one year and John Quillen beat Hampton, but that has rarely happened since.
And that was on that team with Mike Tomlin that beat the Crabbers.
Now, Schmidt's teams did pretty good against Bethel, although Bethel dominated Denbigh even back then, but he did at least get some wins occasionally against the Hampton schools.
Yep.
But Hampton's always been ahead of Newport News in football. Heritage and Woodside have been the exception.
I was going to say, outside of Heritage, like Woodside has really been the one exception the last 10 years or so, consistently being able to go in there and battle it out. And they've been one of the equals to Phoebus. You know, if it wasn't for a couple goal line stands here or there the last couple of years, they would be, they'd be up there where Phoebus is. But it's always a great matchup whenever Phoebus and Woodside get together.
If you hear fans talking, yeah, they're right close to us, folks. So
we are amongst the people.
We are. We're not up in the press box. We are out in the open.
Now, never let it be said Greg Bickaveris is not a man of the people, not a man of the community.
Depends what day it is. 28-0.
Look, some days you don't want to talk to anybody.
It's all good. We love everybody.
Some days you just want to stay home.
Nate speaks from experience. And Jimison,
wow,
still scrambling, trying to eat that clock up and he's trying to get the running clock now.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness. Flags all over the place.
Wow. If this play stands, folks.
That would be 34-zip if it stands, but there's a flag down.
Wow.
Like the guy said, let the players play.
Let King Griffey Jr., let the kids play. Let's take a look. If this play stands, look at Jimison. He goes all the way
but
to
there is a flag on the play.
He made something out of nothing.
He goes to the right. Here comes like an and one mixtape spin move right here. Oop.
Look like a TNA wrestling match.
And then he's off to the races, just cuts back to the inside, and they are not going to get him. They are not going to stop him. There is a flag on the play. We'll see what that penalty is for. But if this play stands, that is just an amazing job of running and awareness and vision by Khalif
We had a
Jemison.
blindside block by the offense. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, third down.
And great job by our replay people. We saw it was like a clip. And
Maybe that's why
had
he was
nothing
so
to do with
open.
that play. Had nothing to do with the play, though.
Yeah, it happened right at the end of the play. So that's one of those unnecessary plays that I'm sure Danny Dotson will have those guys in the film room tomorrow looking at. Like, this is something that could cost us against Phoebus, a team like that.
Nice outlet pass. Denbigh's got to make better tackling. That's it. 34-zip. We're going to see a running clock, folks, here in a second. That won't affect the second quarter much, but will the third.
They said if we're not going to get it one way, we'll get it the other way. If we can't get it on the run, we'll get it on the pass. Jemison hits up Ricky Keys, and Ricky unlocks the door to the end zone. Here it is, folks. Just a simple pitch and catch right there. Again, almost like that outside screen we saw earlier. And there you see Ricky Keys just does all the work, making guys miss. Barely gets touched on his way to the end zone. Another scoring drive by the Woodside Wolverines. And like you said, Greg, running clock about to be in effect.
Classic rivalry here at Newport News. Woodside up 34-zip. Still not going for an extra point. They want to go for two. They don't want to stop. No mercy by Dotson to Stewart here tonight at all.
And again, Stewart knows this is coming. You know, having been on that staff for so many years. And it's nothing personal. It's not showing the other team up. It's getting effective offensive possessions because they know this isn't about Denbigh. This is about Phoebus. This is about Hampton. This is about postseason games.
Bethel too.
Yep.
Southside schools.
Yep.
Division 5, Division 6. It don't matter. There's too many different divisions. That's part of the problem. Excellent field here. Here at Todd Stadium. This is an experiment being outside so far. Guess what? A+. 35, so no running clock yet. 34-zip. 15 seconds left till halftime. Nate and I will take a break, and you can enjoy an interview we did on Sports Highlights for this month, the showcase month of September, back to school, with the wonderful sport of kickball. It's a good way to take out some aggression, too. Kick that ball.
I think there's some Denbigh Patriots that might have some pent-up aggression right now. We'll see if they can funnel that into something productive in the second half, Greg, because things have to change.
Special teams here. See Koa Noyatola for Woodside. Keep an eye on him, number 44, on special teams in the white. Denbigh's got it. Just trying to do anything they can. Get some positive reinforcement. That's probably what they need the most in the second half.
I was going to say a good long return would have gone a long ways towards getting Woodside at least some positive feeling going into the locker room here at the half.
Very windy night. We'll take it over the heat any day.
So, perfect night for football, though. The air is crisp.
Don't forget the text club. You can get involved. Where else can you get involved in live TV other than here?
Exactly. You think Troy Aikman's going to let you text him during the game? Troy Aikman doesn't want you texting him. But Greg and I, we are of the people.
Troy's taken a lot of hits over the years when he played for the Cowboys, too. That concussion stuff is so dangerous.
Going back
it can show your bloodshot in your eyes.
We saw Jordan Reed going back to the Redskins dealing with concussions.
It's hard. They retire early because of that.
Nothing to play with. CTE is an actual thing, folks. It's not just something that happened in the movie with Will Smith.
It's like a car crash every time you get hit. It's that violent.
Exactly. Well, the thing is, they've made football safer, but it's always going to have that element, like you said, Greg, of that collision, of that violence, and that's just part of the game.
And the size and the speed. It's like they're going several miles per hour at full contact at full speed.
It's like getting into a car crash every other play.
9 seconds left in the second quarter.
Speaking of cars, Denbigh, see if they can get on that freeway, get on that express lane. Go for something deep here.
Woodside can't drive 55 either. And that probably will wrap it up here. And that does. All right, we played 24 minutes. We're at halftime here at Todd Stadium as we broadcast outside with the public. Broadcasting to you, the public. 34-0. Stay tuned.
I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
And welcome back to our September edition, our back to school sports highlights on the road as we do our countdown to Sports Highlights March 2020 300 shows. Hope you enjoyed our underwater pool segment in Hampton. Now we're back to Newport News at the Boys and Girls Club at their field, talking Kickball League of Hampton Roads with Ryan O'Donnell. Ryan, good to see you.
Hello, how are you?
Very nice, my friend. Tell us about the Kickball League of Hampton Roads.
So we're an adult-only, 21 and up kickball league in the area. We're about 200 strong, and we range between 13 to 10 teams depending on the season.
When you talk about both sides of the water involved, right, Peninsula and South Side?
So we have a very large amount of Peninsula teams, South Side teams. On the Peninsula, we have just us, Newport News. We have a couple leagues in Norfolk, a couple leagues in Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Portsmouth, and then us in Newport News.
Talk about the rules of kickball, how many people play, and what are the goals, and is there a time limit?
Yeah, so it follows the rules of softball. We follow the ASA rules with some modifications for kickball. You have 11 people on the field. You play 7 innings, and it's a 50-minute time limit. So if you don't make it, the umps will call time. We have ASA softball umps, so they're registered, and it's a good time.
Really something for everyone. Now, let's say that somebody's really strong and powerful with their legs, and they kick it a long ways. I know in baseball it's a home run. What is it in kickball?
It's still a home run. Yeah, you got to run it down. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes, depending on, we're a tight field here, so you might have to, if it runs into an out of bounds area. Those are all designated before the game starts.
All right. I know there's a price tag to play in this. They're going to pay a fee. But how about officials? How about end of the year awards? How does that work?
Sure. So there's a fee to sign up. You can sign up we do 3 seasons a year, the spring, summer, and fall. And then we ask for ump fees throughout the year. So everyone pays for their own umps. It's $13 a game, and the team pools that money together. So it's pretty much about $1 a game to pay for the ASA umps. Yep.
For somebody who's never played kickball before, obviously you can't use your hands except for throwing the ball, kind of like baseball, and you use your feet to kick the ball. Is there a certain goal, try to get a single, double, triple, home run? What is the goal here?
Yeah, so it's a little different than baseball. There's a lot more what we call bunting. You'll see you'll have a couple bunts, and then someone will kick away. That's a chance for somebody to try and get on base. And once you have somebody on base, you're trying to bring them around, kind of like an RBI in baseball.
Talk about the kickball itself. It seems like a really nice piece of equipment there.
Yeah, so it's a rubber ball, just like you used to play with back in recess. It's very, depending on the day, depending on how hot it is, how cold it is, it can really fly, or it can just kind of be a dud and just kind of die on the kick. You never know. We've seen balls kicked so hard that they popped. So yeah, it's a kind of a variable that you're not really used to. With a baseball, you can throw that and you know what you're getting.
Right, I'm talking to Ryan O'Donnell right here for our Sports Highlights September show on the road. Glad you're with us for our monthly interview program since February of 1992. And you talk about the sport, you have to be in pretty good condition because there is some exercise involved.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fair amount of exercise. A lot of people, we like to consider ourselves kind of a recreational league, adult league. So you come out, it's a good time. You don't have to be in super fit condition. You can come out and play, just from kind of couch to kickball kind of idea. You don't really need to train for this.
Right, but there is some preparation involved as far as there's a time commitment for the ones that are serious. And you got a lot of players out here right now early before the games even start warming up. So I can tell they really enjoy this.
Yeah, we have a lot of dedicated teams, dedicated players. A lot of our players play across multiple leagues, so we're not the only league in Newport News. There's WACA and then also WAR, and so there's a couple different leagues in the area. But we try and give our players the most fun environment and the most fun out of the field too. So we have a league bar that's Mellow Mushroom over in Newport News. After the games, we try and encourage everybody to go over there, have a great time, and Mellow Mushroom does a great job sponsoring us, giving us great deals.
Shorts, T-shirts, tennis shoes, or cleats. This is a beautiful field, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to what you're comfortable in. We don't recommend anything because it really is depending on what you're comfortable in running on the field. I personally wear cleats, so I have a pair of soccer cleats that I play in. Some people wear turf shoes, some people wear tennis shoes. When it's wet, it might be a little slippery in tennis shoes. Turf gets a little slick.
Absolutely. I can tell how popular this sport is, folks. When I walk around Killing Creek, I see random kickballs there.
Oh yeah, it's really starting to take off, or has been taking off over the past 10 years, I'd say. It's a really popular sport. My wife and I are the commissioners. We've been doing it for about almost 8 years now. Playing, commissioning about 6, or I'm sorry, about 4.
When you talk about this field, we mentioned it earlier, how would you compare this turf to other places that you've played kickball around the country?
So I haven't played kickball. I've played kickball in Florida and here. Usually it's a grass field. It's the turf. It gives a really nice, really nice field to play in. It does make the ball really fast, so it's something that you're not used to. We also sometimes have to play our tournaments on grass fields, which can really throw things awry.
You talk about at Sports Highlights, folks, on Twitter, by the way, and of course nnpstv.com for archive shows of Sports Highlights, and co-ed, and it's got to be 21 and up too, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's co-ed, so you have to have a certain amount of women on the field, and you have to have a certain amount of people on your roster. And that's just to keep the game fair, keep the field or keep the teams even, and making sure that everyone's enjoying the game.
And of course, you promote yourselves on Facebook too, right?
Yep. Yeah. So Kickball League of Hampton Roads. We also have a KLOHR, KLOHR Newport News. So you can check us out if you're in Newport News, or you can check out whatever city you're in. We have a KLOHR Facebook page.
Final few moments here with Ryan O'Donnell talking about the Kickball League of Hampton Roads. Who are some of the standouts out here that really stood out in kickball that are really advanced?
Oh man, well we have a lot of. That's a hard one. We have a couple teams that play across multiple leagues. We have some really talented people, and I wouldn't be able to name names exactly, but we have some really talented people that play across multiple leagues. They travel. They're on travel teams. They'll go to different tournaments throughout the country playing kickball.
I see you have some spectators out here that really enjoy watching it too.
Yeah, we get a lot of people out. It's nice to be in the Newport News, Dresden area. We get people coming from the community, coming to check it out, watching. We actually played a community game against the Boys and Girls Club field here. Just really enjoying ourselves.
Talking to Ryan O'Donnell, final few moments right here. We mentioned social media, but what would you recommend for somebody who hasn't played kickball since they were in K through 5?
Stretch before you kick the ball. I think that's probably the biggest recommendation. We see a lot of injuries from people who come out cold. They don't do a warm-up, they don't stretch. They go to kick that ball and then they blow their quad. So yeah, I'd say stretch. Also, if you're looking for a sport that's easy to get into, it has a very low injury rate. and it's also very low kind of not hard to play. Kickball is the sport for you, for sure.
Now, one good thing about this sport, like we mentioned talking to Ryan here, is spring, summer, fall. You don't play and take a few months off during the winter, but it's pretty much year-round as well. So really there's not much downtime.
No, and that's just the Newport News. There's other leagues that play in the winter on the south side and on the peninsula. So if you're looking for a winter league, if you're like, I can't get enough kickball, there are leagues out there for you.
Yeah, what do you do as far as strategy when you're playing a certain team? Do you look at film? How do you prepare? Because still there's has to be some type of practice or something to get ready for a game. I would assume you just can't show up randomly.
For us, it's just a recreational sport. We've been playing it for a long time, so we're just coming out here, just kind of giving our all on the field. There are some teams that they do film games. They film strides. They film. It depends on how serious you take the sport and what you're looking for out of it.
Final couple moments here with Ryan O'Donnell, and your wife's involved too, like you mentioned too. I'm sure you need people behind the scenes to make it happen.
Yeah, I would consider her the commissioner. I'm the person who is out on the field making sure that things run smoothly. But yeah, she's definitely the commissioner. She runs everything, make sure everyone is happy, make sure everyone's getting things done, secures our sponsors, secures our. We do a league party or a season party every year, or every season. So she makes sure everything is running smoothly.
Very nice. Yeah, I'm sure some people will ask this question because this field is so beautiful. How do you get access to this field?
You call up the Boys and Girls Club of Newport News and you say, I'd like to use your field. And if they have an opening, they'll let you use it.
It is absolutely beautiful. The best field, and I've lived here and grew up in Newport News, I have ever seen in Newport News. All the best to you, my friend. All the best to the Kickball League of Hampton Roads.
Thanks. I'm going to get out there and play some kickball.
All right, back for the third quarter. It's 34-0 Woodside over their arch rival Denbigh. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton. We're outside tonight in the broadcast bleachers, of course, at Todd Stadium. Nate Milton with the recap.
Absolutely. You see the score right there, 34-0. Let's tell you how it happened, folks. Started in the first quarter with Khalif Jemison with a nice pass to Tyler Thompson. They got the two-point conversion. 8-0 was the score. Then a goal line rush by Jemison, and they missed the two-point conversion after that, Greg. 14-0 was your score after the first quarter. And then in the second quarter, it was all Woodside. Jemison to Ricky Key for a touchdown. You had a touchdown run by Tyler Thompson. And then again, a second pass from Jemison to that man, Ricky Key, to close out the first half. 34-0 is your score at the start here of the second half, Greg. It has been all Woodside Wolverine.
Denbigh needs little steps for confidence.
Yeah, Denbigh just has to find something to motivate them, whether it's the pride of their families or the pride of the name on the jersey or being on TV here tonight. They got to find something to give them that spark, give them that motivation. Maybe it's the text club, Greg. And speaking of pride, folks, I'm very proud to shout out all the rising 11th graders, because if you're interested in TV production, call Telecom for more information or to schedule a tour, 757-591-4687. Join the program, produce great programming like the kids are doing tonight, earn college credit, 757-591-4687, extension 0. Set up a tour today.
And, of course, sports highlights, weekends at 9 o'clock. That's tomorrow and Sunday. Mondays 7, 2, and 7. Cox Cable 47, 517, NNPSTV.com. NNPS TV, your home for interviews on sports highlights.
I love the weekend showing the sport highlights because I can get up, sleep in,
watch
a little
it in
bit.
bed.
Exactly. 7 o'clock on Monday is a little early for me, but I like that you're giving the people choices.
And take a look at that kickball segment. Great audio video match.
Absolutely.
And, of course, the underwater hockey was their footage. Of course, our footage stood out a little bit better, but it's all good.
I can't play hockey on ice. I don't know if I can play it underwater.
I can't play hockey on ground, let alone water. I would need Jacques Cousteau to help me underwater. And Woodside bouncing around like a pinball there, number 4, of course, and that is Nathaniel Andrew Chambly.
Chambly trying to make something happen on that return. Denbigh, like we said, Greg, they got to find some pride. They got to find a spark, something that motivates them. Get a stop here. If they can get a stop on this first drive, that's one small step towards getting back into this contest.
They played 12-minute quarters. Don't forget, we'll do the text club later this quarter. You have to mention your name and who you're rooting for. Like, for example, James, Denbigh, Susie, Woodside.
Absolutely. Woodside fans, I want to hear you loud and proud. Denbigh fans, I know the score isn't going your way right now, but still hit the text club up and root and support your squad.
And Phipps on the outside. Look at him run with great poise and confidence. But look how he holds the football. Runs a lot like Pete Johnson did at Ohio State years ago.
Phipps, again, 5'7", 190 pounds, compact runner. Reminds me a little bit of myself when I was at Menchfield, Greg. Not the tallest guy out there, but very stockily built, able to get there and make something happen.
A young Nate Milton.
That is a great compliment. He is a young Nate Milton with with much more athleticism than I ever had.
Maybe we can find our third man in the booth from a future Woodside student. Of course, we see Reggie Crudup, who went to Warwick.
Yep.
Shout out to Reggie. And, of course, Michelle Price and Elijah Price here as well. Elijah very proud of his uncle Creighton, who actually has done very well so far at Bethel and beat Heritage and Menchville already. Lost to Ray Price's alma mater, Maury, but, hey, he's turned that attitude around.
Yeah.
Green and gold is back, folks.
It's about building a culture, like you're saying, Greg.
Absolutely. So many great players at Bethel over the years. Like, he played with Rodney Howard. Creighton's senior year in 1984, they took on Hampton twice, once as a non-conference game. And they beat them. They lost to them during the regular season. When Bethel played Hampton, it was an event, something Newport News has never seen before.
Yeah, I'm telling you, folks, like the year before I was in high school, or right around that time when you had Allen Iverson at Bethel playing football. Like, that's something a lot of folks that are not from this area have no idea how good Allen Iverson was on a football
That was
field.
our closest thing to Friday Night Lights. The closest thing. When Bethel and Hampton played, when Creighton and Mickey were there, and also in the 70s as well. And, of course, like you said, when Iverson played. And then Vic, of course, later on against Curry. Fumble. Denby's got it. They needed that spark. All right, now you got to score now.
Step one was stopping the Woodside offense. They did that. We'll see if this can lead to a score.
You got to come out of the gate quick. You're out of halftime.
That's exactly what Coach Stewart wanted from this defense to start the second half.
All right, stay tuned for the text club. We'll get you involved. Your name and your school you're rooting for. A little pageantry here on Friday Night Football. And you know, we've done games on weekends too and Thursdays, but something about Friday is really special.
Nothing like Friday Night Football, my friends.
This is when you get the biggest attendance. Saturday's pretty much for college, Sundays for the NFL. High school is, although more and more colleges are playing on Friday nights. They're playing on Thursday nights.
Yep.
But no more worrying about the high school ticket. But it's all about the money now.
It is all about the money, and it's be interesting to see what's going on. You know, there's several different cases, particularly one in California right now with the college athletes, you know, looking to be able to make money off of businesses using their likeness. And so we'll see if that goes anywhere and how that can change the dynamics of college football.
It's 34-0. We're at Todd Stadium outside tonight. In the broadcast crew, Greg Piccaveras, Nate Milton. We'll get to our crew in the fourth quarter, respectively. Great audio and video by our staff and students tonight. 29 years of prep sports. We did one game in 91. That was Warwick and Kecoughtan. And here we are. Nate Milton, you've been a part of it 21 years plus some change.
I was going to say, it's been my pleasure to be a part of the team for that long, my friend. And, we've had the chance to call some great athletes out here in this field. Like you mentioned, Michael Vick, Marcus Vick, Ronald Curry, who for my money is still one of the best athletes to ever come from this area.
And we did one Iverson game in 92, and they took on Warwick on this field. And Bethel won that game over Bill Lyons. That was a Saturday we did that game in 92.
Of course, the greatest game that you and I have ever had the chance to call was that 2000 state championship, which saw the Heritage Hurricanes bring the title home to Newport News.
And it was cold that night.
Yeah, nothing like tonight. Tonight feels like San Diego compared to that night up in Richmond.
Yes, we were in the capital city. 9 and some change left. Here comes Denbigh. Trying to get it thrown, incomplete.
Patriots quarterback.
Denbigh trying to get something going. Unfortunately, wasn't able to connect on that passing play right there. It's baby steps, Greg. It's about building that foundation.
Getting Higgs involved, too, in the quarterback play.
Well, yeah, I think, and this is no disrespect to Enrique, but obviously things weren't clicking on offense in that first half. So if you're Denbigh, what have you got to lose by switching things up and seeing what Higgs can bring to the table?
And the pass is with a flag down. But when you start throwing,
we don't need this extracurricular stuff, Greg.
Nope, running is way ahead of the passing in high school football. Yeah. And we both said that with Vic and Brooks. But that was then.
To be complete to number 81,
You're going to see
Ashton
on
Wilson.
the replay just Higgs escaping the pocket, just throws the ball up, and right there, good defensive stop. But then, like we said, you don't need any of the extra stuff after the play. We know this is a heated rivalry, but keep that rivalry in between the white lines on the field.
We had a completed pass by the offense, and we'll tack on 15-yard for personal foul, roughing the passer against the defense.
That is the voice right there of the referee, Jim Mayhew. Don't forget, we have a game next week as well.
And that is an uncharacteristic penalty right there by the Woodside Wolverines. You know Coach Danny Dotson is not happy with that. He doesn't tolerate those kind of lacks of discipline.
Unsportsmanlike, yep, absolutely, Nate Milton. And we have got Denbigh and Heritage next week. Should be a very good game.
That's going to be interesting to see how Denbigh can rebound from this game tonight on that week's notice and get ready for another tough game against the Heritage Hurricanes.
And they're not used to losing.
And you know the Heritage Hurricanes are going to want to come out here and prove a point next week.
And that'll be the 4th game of the year for Denbigh. I mean, 40% already, and it's September 13th. But when you play a game before Labor Day, that's what happens. Pros and cons, not a lot of people here, but at least you get your feet wet.
Exactly.
There's no preseason.
Well, and that's the thing. There's no preseason, but also we are in hurricane season, as you mentioned earlier, Greg. And so you never know when games will get postponed or rearranged. And so, it's always good to get, one out of the way.
34-0. No running clock because that's that one extra point. But Denbigh, right now, folks, has got the football. Can they do something with it? At least get to the red zone. In the blue uniforms, Denbigh bulldozes. And nice tackle right there by number 9, respectfully, for the Woodside Wolverines.
I'm telling you, Woodside has got some hitters on defense. You talk about White on the defensive end and some of the other players. And, of course, you talk about the Class 5 and what they've got to bring to the table with those teams. This right now, again, like we said all night, Greg, this is not about Denbigh. This is about the postseason. This is about Bethel. This is about Phoebus. This is about, some of the tougher teams that Woodside's going to have to face.
Oh, incomplete.
Wow.
Now you can see 2 tails here, right here at 34-0. For Woodside, they're trying to experiment because
Here we're going to see Higgs does a great job of getting away from the defense right here, Greg, stepping up into the pocket, but then just inaccurate. You see he didn't have his feet set, and that was right. The reason why the throw wasn't able to become completed. But you got to get a young man credit for that hustle right there to get away from a very tough Woodside Wolverine defense.
And Denbigh's just trying to find themselves with some positive points. Up the middle, that's dangerous. That could be intercepted,
Oh, no.
and guess what? It was.
Whew.
You don't want to throw it up the middle because not many good things will happen.
Yeah, you're going to see Chambly like that old Rockwell song, I always feel like somebody's watching me. He was watching the quarterback, stepped into the passing lane, and was able to pick that ball off. Chambly gives the ball back to the Woodside Wolverines, and it has not been a great night for the Denbigh Patriots.
34-0. All Woodside tonight.
And as you mentioned, my friend, if Woodside is able to score on this drive, we will have a running clock in effect.
And the Wolverines pound and ground right now as Denbigh's confidence is gets tested here. Their willpower, one thing about Woodside, they've sustained for so many years.
Well, and when you've got the consistency that you've built with Danny Dodson and that coaching staff at Woodside, you can absorb bad times. You can absorb a bad quarter, a bad series, because you've got an experience of being positive and winning games to pull from. With Denbigh, yes, they've had some success here and there over the years, but for the most part, they've been a 500 team or less. And so you don't have those experiences to pull from, and that's what Coach Stewart and this team, they're going through some growing pains right now.
Woodside on the ground. Thompson right there on the run.
And it doesn't help the fact that Woodside has 2 or 3 great athletes in that backfield. You talk about Phipps, you talk about Jemison, you talk about Thompson, then you talk about Ricky Key on the outside. So many ways that Woodside can hurt you out of this wing T formation.
And their quarterback can run and pass. Whew. And you get confidence from years of making the postseason.
Yep.
It spreads from brother to brother.
And again, so many great players over the years played here at Woodside. Of course, Aaron Evans, the Davis boys, Mondo Miguel, the Chessons. The Chesson boys, we
Willie
Bell,
Stephon Welsh.
Got to call their games over the years. So, yeah, Woodside has a tradition. Denbigh is trying to reestablish a tradition, but right now they're just not there, unfortunately.
Get ready for that text club. All right, folks, listen carefully. I'm not sure if we'll have a graphic up or not, but text us right now your name, your first name, and who are you rooting for to 757-291-4234. Write it down if you have to, or text it to yourself. 757-291-4234. Text us live right now, September 13th only, as we got a full moon kind of hiding behind the clouds. Harvest moon recently. And, of course, text us 757-291-4234. We'll mention your name. You tell us who you're rooting for.
Woodside just continues to grind out this offense, Greg. And, of course, text club 757-291-4234. Let us know your name, who you're rooting for, what team are you repping tonight. And, again, Greg, you mentioned the full moon. Not only is it a full moon, it is Friday the 13th. So anything is possible out here on the football field. So text club, join the club, send us a text. Let us know who you support.
Do you believe in superstitions?
I think everybody's a little superstitious, Greg, but for the most part, like black cats or walking under the ladder, I don't believe in that stuff. But every now and then, I do, knock on wood or something like that, just to be safe, Greg, just to be on the safe side.
Absolutely. 34 zip.
We can use all the luck we can get in this life.
Woodside in total control, thinking about the future, that's for sure.
And this is the type of intensity and focus you need from Woodside. As cold as it might sound, Greg, you can't take it easy on Denbigh.
All right, we're getting our texts already. This is Tahira, and she's rooting for Woodside.
All right.
All right, Tyra. Thank you. Say hello to Tyra for us, Nate.
What is going on, Tyra? That is one vote for the Wolverines. I know my sister, an alumni from Woodside. She might be watching tonight down in North Carolina. So if you're watching, what's going on, Vanjie?
There's the bomb. Hold on. There's a bomb, and it's incomplete. Now, we like the texts that are organic. We don't tell when or where. Just do it whenever you feel it. Yes, and what device you're watching on, too. But we don't need them to write a whole novel. We just want to hear the name and where they're watching from.
That is the wonders of technology. You can watch through various devices, various platforms now.
Not just TV, that's for sure. Text club is 757-291-4234. Text us a hi, your name, and who you're rooting for, or and how you're watching it,
Pass
TV or
interference
online.
against the defense.
online.
15-yard penalty results in a first down.
If we can get a shot of the moon, it's just funny tonight, man. I tell you, it's hiding behind the clouds. Text Club, Nate.
Absolutely. 757-291-4234.
Woodside just pounding and grounding it. One more score, and they're going to have a running clock.
A lot of Woodside Wolverine alumni and Denbigh Patriot alumni spread out all over the globe nowadays, but that's the beauty of technology, the beauty of the internet, is that no matter where you are, you can be connected to your team. So I want to give a shout-out to everybody watching on NNPSTV.com.
There's Danny Dotson. Greg Bicaveras, glad you're with us with Nate Milton. Cox Cable 47 517, NNPSTV.com, live and local. Woodside on the ground. Text Club again, Nate Milton. We are blowing it up tonight. Our viewers, we experimented with this several years ago, and we have the best viewers in the state. This is Melanie rooting for her son, of course. He was scared, she said, but he's doing great now. Melanie, all the best. You've done a great job raising your kid. Congratulations.
That's great. You know, again, the community behind this, you know, the parents, the kids, the administration, it's all part of the family, and it's great to be able to bring this action.
Melanie's son's doing the audio.
Absolutely. Our crew here are doing such a great job. Let's not discount what they bring to the table. And we will shout their names out in the fourth quarter. Again, if you want to join the club, it's not an exclusive club.
Yeah.
You can get in. We'll let you in. 757-291-4234. Let us know your name. Let us know who you're rooting for. And if you want, where you're hitting us up from. And also what device you might be using to watch the game tonight.
Nate, I got my first iPad way back in 13. You and I were at a Wizards game in 14, and you showed me the whole power of the smartphone then.
Yeah.
But really, that's about 5 years people have been having it. Before it was the flip phone. You remember the flip phone.
And you could not watch a football game on a flip phone.
No, you can't.
At best, you might get like the little graphics of the football moving across the field.
So I turned you onto the iPad, and then you turned me onto the smartphone.
I'm telling you, you can do so much with phones these days.
But just don't text and drive, please.
Yeah, please don't text and drive. But I was at a video shoot a couple weeks ago, and I'm waiting for the cameras to come out, and the director just did the entire shoot on his iPhone.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And you have microphones in your phone.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 2 and some change left in the third quarter. We'll get back to the text club in a few moments. We always have fun in the fourth quarter coming up. And that's Phipps. Dotson's got a sound football team, as the late Bill D did. Mike Smith, Dennis Kozlowski, as I've seen. Dotson has coached a long time for Woodside. Now, Charlie Nuttycombe was at Menchville from 70 to 88. Before that, he was at Newport News High School. And, of course, Newport News had great teams, too, when they used to take on Hampton back in the day. That was before you and our time. But that'd be a really cool interview that Ray and I should do, is do an interview from the old Newport News High School field that's housed for the military now. But they used to play great games downtown Newport News. Woodside on the ground. And running clock, folks. Woo! We will see it. Number 20 cements it. That was Hawks.
All right, folks, let's take a look.
Number 20.
The onset has been relentless. Number 20 doing his best homage to the great Barry Sanders. Finding pay dirt, get into the end zone. He says, I know it's Friday night, but I still want to make a direct deposit, folks. And he gets payday right there in the end zone.
He likes cash over credit cards. Credit cards have interest, Nate.
No plastic.
Of course, the clock never rolls during extra points or field goals. Stays as is. 100-yard football field out here, Todd Stadium. Nice grass. Wish my grass looked this good. Nate, I need you to come by and cut the grass.
I was gonna say, I wonder if we can rent the services of the stadium crew here to hook up the backyard.
Offsides there on Denbigh.
Again, you're seeing Woodside working out some different plays. Again, this is all preparation for some of the bigger games they have later on this season and then the playoffs.
Encroachment against the defense.
40-0 is the score right now. Again, flags again, a little anxious. A little anxiety there.
Greg, I know you're a big tennis aficionado.
All right, the text club, hold on, here we go. Look, they're texting us
And
without us giving the phone number.
On the defense.
We've heard from Tyra and Melanie. This is Deborah. Nina as well. Watching the game from smart TVs. Wow, very nice. Deborah and Nina. Coach Jazz's mom from Woodside, watching on home smart TVs. Awesome. Thank you, Deborah and Nina.
Awesome.
That is just great technology. And you can watch it on the website, nnpstv.com.
And there you see Greg. Again, Greg, I said, being a tennis aficionado, you're used to this score 40 love right now.
Yes, on the opposite end. I would use, like my dad used to play Ernie. I told you about those stories. Ernie would always use English on the tennis ball, and my dad would walk back from Ferguson because Ernie would frustrate him so much. Me, I got frustrated by everybody I played.
Well, speaking of frustration, we got to look at the Denbigh sideline there, and this is going to be part of the growing pains for Coach Stewart. He's got to get these guys motivated and keep them focused in the face of frustration.
40-0. 1:19 left in the third quarter. We'll be a running clock now. That's it.
Whew.
You hate to see that so early in the season.
And again, Coach Stewart knows this isn't personal. This is not, Woodside running up the score for no reason. He knows from being on that sideline with Coach Dotson, this is all building towards a postseason run.
Special teams, a drop right there by Denbigh in the blue. And they don't get much there across the 20. All right, this is also Coach Jazz's 5-month-old son. Interesting. Deuce is watching. So we got Deuce.
What up, Deuce?
Who's 5 months old watching us on TV.
I'm telling you, the way these kids take the technology.
Telecom students. I know my sister's 6-year-old is already using an iPad better than I can.
I'm telling you, my youngest niece, just give her an iPad, put some TV shows on it, let her watch Wild Kratts or Bubble Guppies, and she's good for the rest of the night, Greg.
So special shout out to Deuce. I mean, you got to love that nickname for a 5-month-old kid to be called Deuce already.
And he already knows how to use the smartphone.
So big shout out to Deuce.
Future telecom student.
We wish the best for Deuce. Or as Vince Scully would say, the deuces are wild. Here's the attempted run here by number 6 for Denbigh. A little move right there by Higgs. Denbigh's experimenting. That's the end of the third quarter. With the score, we got 12 minutes left here in Newport News. We're not signing off yet, folks. It's 40-0 in favor of Woodside over Denbigh. Stay tuned.
You don't have to change just to fit in. You don't have to apologize for who you are. Just be yourself, and I promise people will enjoy it. Just be yourself. Be your real, imperfect, flawed, quirky, weird, beautiful, and magical person you are. Be yourself. Because everyone else is already taken. Just be you.
So a message to that PSA, just be you.
Yes.
Woodside's being themselves tonight, and they're winning 40-0 over Denbigh.
And I would tell Denbigh to just be themselves, but that's part of the issue right now in this transition period. They don't really know their identity yet. And we talked with Coach Stewart before the game about that. So Denbigh can't be themselves because they don't quite know themselves yet. It's going to be a learning process this season for the Patriots.
Woodside by no means is in the witness protection program, folks. They know who they are. 40-0. 12 minutes left in this game. We're making it entertaining for our great viewers, and our viewers are making it entertaining for us. And the pass is incomplete.
Ooh, almost intercepted.
All right, text club, say what is your first name, who you're rooting for, what device you're watching, from our engineer, Greg Lesko. All right, text club, 757-291-4234. I want to get a text from Beth Scott or Satrina. All right, 757-291-4234.
Shout out to the former telecom.
And our buddy Chris James.
I'm telling you, I would like to hear from the chief, the former chief, Eleanor Stuck.
How about Paul Cummings? Come on, Paul.
You never know where Mr. C is.
I know. The mysterious Mr. C. We want to hear from Mr. C tonight. It was 3 years ago that Ray and I, Mr. C, were awarded that great honor by the Newport News City Council. It was funny now we can talk about it. Ray and I were wearing jackets and ties. Mr. C casually just comes up with a polo shirt. That's the charm of Mr. C.
Oh, it's the charm of Mr. C, and it's the charm of being retired and being able to
go
around the world.
Exactly. He's been everywhere. That old Channel 47 truck we had.
Mm-hmm.
Good old Mr. C.
So many great adult staff here.
We used to do a 30-minute pregame show out here.
I'm telling you, Mr. C, Mr. C was great for the program.
C-SPAN, he did everything.
And now, again, the incapable hands of Ray Price and the great crew here, just continuing that tradition. Again, it's like what we're talking about with Woodside. If you build a foundation, you can continue to build upon it and grow.
That's number one for Woodside. And that, respectively, is Jimison. Nate, our text club is 757-291-4234. Text us a hi, your name, first name, and who you're rooting for, what device you're watching, 757-291-4234.
Exactly. This is not exclusive. Everybody can join the club, and we're not going to be like those other clubs, the breakfast sandwich club where you got to buy 5 sandwiches. Just
no carbs in this club. No carbs.
carbs.
Yeah. No candy, nothing. Just text us a hi, 757-291-4234.
Where the Patriots fans at? I want to hear from the Patriot Nation.
Who's going to win the Redskins-Cowboys game this weekend?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Can Virginia beat Florida State?
I think Virginia's got a good shot in the
Can
ACC.
Pittsburgh score a touchdown, Steelers fans?
Hey, we like the Steelers. Mike Tomlin, again, a local legend from these parts. Played at
Denbigh. Denbigh used to have a group called the Concerned Citizens of Denbigh.
Right now, that
running clock is a concern.
I was going to say, that moniker fits right now for the Denbigh fans. They're concerned about the state of the offense right now for the Patriots. But again, this is something that can be worked out. It's very hard to come in against a team like Woodside that is so polished and knows exactly what they're going to do on every play, and you're still learning. It's a very tough position, and so I know Coach Stewart is going to have these guys watch a lot of this tape, Greg, and get refocused for next week.
8:35 left in this game. Woodside getting a new quarterback in, number 3, respectively, and that is Nathaniel, the Woodside Wolverines' second quarterback of the night.
And again, this is good for Woodside to kind of work on some things and try to get some things going. Tavon Tyler, it looks like the freshman, 6 foot tall, 151 pounds. So that's good, getting a freshman involved in the game for the Woodside Wolverines. I think, like, if you're Danny Dotson, that's exactly what you want to do to get things going. So, we might see a pass from Tavon Tyler.
Another T-square. Yeah, that's number 3, who Nate alluded to. How about number 20, our buddy?
And our buddy number 20, Kayshawn Hawks, who scored the touchdown in the third quarter.
Yes. 40-0 now. Like I explained earlier in the first half, it's a running clock when it becomes 35 plus, and we're over that 5-point mark. It's 40-0,
and that's a luxury for Woodside to have, that they can bring in a freshman quarterback right now and get him some invaluable playing time late in the fourth quarter.
We're at the top of the hour in Newport News, Virginia. We've played for 2 hours so far. All Woodside tonight. On that run right there by Towns, and he's taking it to town tonight. All right, Texas a high. Final few moments of the game. It'll go by quick, folks. 757-291-4234. That's 757-291-4234. Texas, your first name.
Absolutely. Want to hear your name, want to know who you're rooting for. I need to hear from my Patriots fans, though. I need the Patriots to stand up. The scoreboard is not pretty right now, but support your team.
The Denbigh Patriots or the New England Patriots? As Nate's calling for SOS out here.
See, got to call in the Navy, the Army, anybody that can support the Denbigh Patriots right here. They got to get something going. They got to get something going, get something motivated. Got to get something motivated to get things going, and really just find some light, find some silver lining right now in this ball game.
All right, we got another text coming in here, Nathaniel. This is Emily from Denbigh. Hello, Emily. Thank you for texting.
What is going on, Emily? I hope Emily is repping for these Denbigh Patriots because they need some support. They need some support. They need that energy out there. It's like Peter Pan when he had to clap to bring Tinkerbell back to life. Text in, join the text club, and bring these Patriots back to life.
Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, glad you're with us on Cox Cable 47517, NNPSTV.com as well. And, of course, the adult crew, as we say hello to Emily as well. As Nate Milton's wind.
It is a blustery day out here.
Gone with the wind tonight. Gone with the wind.
Frankly, Mr. Bickaveris, I don't give a darn.
Yes. Executive producer, of course. We've seen her here tonight. Proud Menchville graduate, Michelle Price.
Yes.
In the truck right now.
Always great to see Michelle at the game.
And, of course, the text club is blowing us up here. Mike watching on 517 with his daughter Mariah, rooting for Woodside. Cowboys will win this Sunday. Mike, thank you so much for texting us tonight.
How about them Cowboys?
And all the best to you and Mariah as well for watching on us Verizon.
Very cool. And again, that's, bringing families together, a nice, relaxing Friday evening watching football. That's what it's all about.
All right, we're just getting blown up here during the crew list here. Coach Jazz's son is getting ready. And, of course, our coordinating producer, the producer of tonight's game, very innovative as we are outside tonight, was our idea during the staff football meeting back in the summer. The wonderful Ray Price, who went to Maury High School, producer of Sports Highlights, does a great job with live school board meetings, and, of course, Fusion Fitness as well, and so many great programs with Carl Daniels. Our engineer, Greg Lesko, doing a great job tonight. Greg should get an Emmy for his audio for the people in the truck. And, of course, our wonderful director since 1993, Bill Barlow. Excellent job by Bill. And, of course, Carl Daniels, who's done so much great work in the field tonight, but also the field with the students as we just finished our second week of the school year.
Absolutely great job by our adult staff. And now it's time to give a shout out to our student crew who have been bringing you the sights and sounds tonight, folks. We got Michael McClellan.
That's Deuce. Yeah.
Sorry, folks. We got cute people sending cute baby pictures in the text club. Yes, that's one way to get me distracted. Sending the cute baby pictures. It's lovely. Thank y'all for texting, joining the text club. All right, back to the crew. We got Tajion Gianti, Antonio Dix, Danielle Sullivan, Ashanti Jones, Darius McElwain, Josh Blah, Eric DeMarchi, Pedro Leon, vote for Pedro, Keon Brooks, Colin Biggie Smalls, Juliana Banks. The bank is still open on Friday, folks. And, of course, Kalissa Rogers doing a great job bringing us that sideline report earlier, talking to the cheerleading coaches. So shout out to our students. Folks, these are 11th and 12th graders bringing you this production tonight, this professional grade production, and you got to tip your cap to them for the amazing work that they have done tonight in their first live game of the season.
And we have our youngest viewer ever, Deuce, watching 5 months old.
I'm telling you, dude, like I was distracted.
Deuce is not even ready for kindergarten yet.
I'm telling you what. Good-looking young man. Bright things ahead for that young man in his future.
If anybody could eat a steak and a lobster now, it would be Deuce. He is a big kid.
He might be a future running back for the Wolverines someday.
And this game is academic as we start the school year.
Well, it becomes more academic when you create turnovers and when you can't hold on to the ball and you got so many penalties.
And we want to thank all the wonderful texters. We'll do it again next week during the Heritage Denbigh game. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Our great viewers tonight on live TV.
If you're watching on this in the replay in the distant future somewhere, the text lines are now closed.
Yes, they're now closed for the evening. Except for Deuce. Deuce can still text. And Emily. Deuce and Emily can still text.
Deuce got the VIP line. Whenever you want to talk football, sir, we will take your call.
3 minutes and some change left. Live and local in Newport News, Virginia. I mean, think about it. You can see it right from any device you want.
I'm telling you, folks, we've had so many great folks joining the text club tonight, letting us know they're watching. And, of course, you all watching this on NNPS, Cox 47, Verizon Fios 17, NNPSTV.com. From Boston to Boise, Fargo to Fresno, New Orleans to New York, and all points in between. When your neighbor says, what's going on, just tell them I'm watching Friday Night Football, baby.
Right, thank you on the telestrator. Your new toy there to our viewers.
Oh, yes, I haven't used my telestrator since the first quarter, yeah. So let me write thank you to the lovely people out there.
Or thanks, whatever, yeah. There you go. Exclamation point. Hey, got to get that in there.
There we go.
Thanks.
There we go. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you.
Nate loves that trash can, too.
I'm telling you, boy, I feel like a kid at Christmas. I got
Flags
my telestrator.
down. Yep. But the clock still rolls. 40-0.
Tyler to number 32, Noel Towns.
So don't forget, we'll have live football next week. It'll be Heritage taking on Denbigh.
And that's going to be an interesting game. We'll see if Denbigh can recover from this loss this week, if they can, put it behind them. And more than that, Greg, if they can use some of the lessons they learned in this loss. We got to cut back on turnovers. We have to be more aggressive when it comes to going to attack on defense and on offense. We got to be proactive.
Special shout out to our superintendent and school board for another great academic year, 1920. 19-20. Hard to believe 2020 in a few months.
It's like we're already in the future. I remember when I was in high school, 2020 seemed like some of the year.
Some show on ABC.
Take the ball back to the
way in the future.
29-yard line.
Like 2020, is Barbara Walters going to show up? Is that what's happening?
Less than a minute left here at Todd Stadium in Newport News. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, great crew tonight. You just heard the names of all of them. Take a look at the credits as well at the end of the game.
And there it is, the greatest formation in football if you're the coach, the victory formation, and that's gonna do it for this game, Greg.
Coach versus pupil tonight. 15 years Stewart was on the staff with Dotson. 15 years.
And I know you're a fan of Star Wars, Greg. It's like in Revenge of the Sith when Anakin had to fight Obi-Wan, and he was like, I have the high ground, Anakin. You cannot win. Coach Dotson had the high ground on Coach Stewart tonight.
But Anakin became Darth Vader, too, which is a new movie coming out in December.
We'll see if Coach Stewart and these Patriots can get some revenge down the line somewhere.
Revenge of the Milton. That's it, folks. This game is academic and over. Woodside wins it over their arch rival city neighbor, Denbigh, 40-0. Stay tuned for our wrap-up show. Doing that off camera.
Yeah.
All right, 40-0. Greg Bickaveris along with Nate Milton. And Nate, when you talk about these teams tonight, both played hard, but it was too much Woodside.
Yeah, both teams played hard, man, as Rasheed Wallace once said. But at the end of the day, Woodside was the favorite coming in, and they did what favorites do. They win the games they have to win. Good effort by Denbigh, but Woodside was just too much tonight.
Nice outside view. We're experimenting this year a little bit, at least for this year. 40-0, Nate. And, of course, Woodside, offense, defense, special teams. They experimented. Great combination of passing and running both.
Yeah, I liked a lot of what we saw from Woodside tonight out of that wing tee. We saw a lot of guys getting work and, plays being made. Coach Dotson has to be impressed with the way his offense showed up tonight, and they're going to need that offense, though, later on in the season when they play the Phoebuses of the world, when they play those tougher teams, Hamptons of the world. They're going to need every bit of the offense that they showed tonight.
All right, partner, we'll see you next week.
Absolutely, my
friend.
friend.
All right, Heritage and Denbigh next week, live right here at 7 o'clock on Cox Cable, 47517, nnpstv.com. Thank you to our great text club as well for all the great texters, especially our buddy Deuce as well. So for the great crew, thank you for all the great audio and video, and once again the final score. For more, log on to nnpstv.com. Woodside 40, Denbigh 0. For Nate Milton, Ray Price, I'm Greg Bickaveris. We'll talk to you soon. Good night.